I read two stories yesterday about claims of voter fraud in the United States. The FBI warned that Russian trolls were attempting to amplify and had successfully amplified a fake video of someone turning up a ballot in Pennsylvania. The goal of this kind of effort is to create distrust in the democratic process. The Russians do not need to bother with generating false claims about voting and vote counting since we have Trump, Elon Musk, and a few million Republicans who are experts in that field. The Russians are poor imitators at best of the Republicans. The other story was a Republican operative, Cliff Maloney, claiming that 53 registered voters at a monastery did not live there and were committing voter fraud, adding that he had contacted his attorney and assured everyone that, quote, we will not let the Dems count illegal votes, end quote. Maloney included in his X message the names, addresses, ages, and political affiliations of the nuns who were registered to vote and who lived at the monastery. Maloney claimed that a canvasser knocked on the door and was told that no one lived at the monastery. Over 2.7 million people viewed that false claim on X, and no telling how many of those persons shared Maloney's message or repeated it to others. Republican generated fake news can travel around the world several times and back before the truth has the opportunity to put its boots on in the morning, and then, well, it is too late. Musk PAC republished Maloney's false claim, according to CNN. If anyone had visited the monastery, they would have been told that nuns were permanent residents, as one of the sisters told a news reporter. She took the reporter around to interview the nuns, many of whom claimed that they not only had lived at the monastery, they had done so for several decades. When confronted with facts by the Washington Post, did Maloney apologize? What do you think? Of course not. Trumpsters do not apologize for making false accusations. Trump's would be spending most of his day making apologies if he started along that path, which he's not going to do, of course. Has he ever apologized for any false statement or accusation that he has made? I'm not aware of any. One reason is that he will never acknowledge making a false statement that is proven to be false beyond any doubt whatsoever. I do not view him admitting that Obama's birth certificate that showed that he was born in Hawaii to be an apology for being the most prominent spreader of the false Obama birther conspiracy. Maloney responded to the facts about the nuns actually living at the monastery in an X message, and was claiming that the Democrats had gone unhinged in response to his false claim. And people are just reporting that it's a false claim. His team were working on to confirm that the nuns actually lived in the monastery. And then he concluded with this statement, and I quote, this is published on Musk X website. Quote, to the unhinged commies who want to write their own narrative, my message is simple. And this is in all caps. I don't know what it means. Pound, sand, exclamation point. This is political warfare, and we won't give an inch until we have fair, all in caps, and secure, all in caps, elections, end quote. Trumpsters, like their Messiah, appointed by God, or so we are told, do not apologize for making false claims. They must have skipped over that passage in the 10th Amendments, the Ten Commandments on this issue. It is just not in their DNA to apologize. Hypocrisy, on the other hand, must be genetic since that is such a common trait among them. Maybe the nuns will file a defamation and invasion of privacy suit against Maloney. He can then identify the person who allegedly told him that no one lived at the monastery. The only way to stop this nonsense from Republicans is to hold them and the perpetrators responsible, just like the two Georgia workers who successfully won a case against Rudy Giuliani, who accused them of voter fraud, and will soon be seizing his assets. The other way is to soundly defeat Trump and so many of his enablers as possible in the upcoming election. They need to be punished at the ballot box in a unmistakably clear signal to them that the American people will no longer tolerate this nonsense.